Good evening, Europe and beyond. Eurovision Ireland are here, and we're back. Now, over the past 2 days, we've looked at all the songs taking part in the second semi-final. They've all rehearsed once. There's none of this Australia not bothering malarkey. Everyone has now rehearsed at least once. And what we're going to do is look at the 17 runners and riders in the second semi-final. We're going to take a pick of the top 5 that we like, pick of the ones that aren't doing quite so well, and then we'll look at the ones in the middle, the also-rans. Simple. Feel free to agree with us, disagree with us, comments on YouTube, comments on the website. You know how to find us, and tell us what you think. Right, we're going to start with the top 5 that we think could do well. And I'm going to throw this over to Sarah.
Well, my top pick of the second semi-final so far is Switzerland. What can I say? The rehearsal totally blew me away. Fabulous staging, great vocals. I think they're onto something. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Bogdan, what's your pick?
My top is Greece, Stefania, and Last Dance. From the moment I heard the song, I knew it was going to be one of my favorites, and I'm glad she didn't disappoint. I think she's the one that used the most the I don't know how to say, the advantages of a green screen. And I was disappointed that I didn't get to see the flying horse that I was hoping to see somehow there on the background, but she's done a fabulous job dancing along. She needs to be of more energy, but I think she's going to get there on the semi-final night.
Thanks, Bogdan. James, what's your song?
So my shout out goes to Austria, Vincent Bueno and Amen. This song has really grown on me, and I was willing it to do well, but being sort of a fairly quiet song, I was sort of, not sure where this is going to go, but Vincent just performed it with such raw emotion. It was absolutely beautiful to watch. The staging is very simple, that cascade of light going up over the stage. It's beautiful, it's fantastic. It's got jury #1 spot written all over it.
Thanks, James. Richard, you've got a top 5 pick. Which one is it?
Yeah.
And what?
I've got Bulgaria, which is Victoria's Growing Up is Getting Old. Yet another very simply staged song. Victoria's sitting on a rock on the floor, and the floor looks like it's the ocean. Obviously, during it, she gets up, but again, another song that shows raw emotion, and it's very simply staged, and it's stunning. Thanks,
Richard. Right, my pick of the top 5 is Iceland. We all know Daði and Gagna Magnath. They're 10 years. It's such a charming little song. It doesn't plead with you to vote for it. It doesn't grab you by the scruff of the neck to vote for it. It just charms you, and you smile and your foot taps, and there are some really nice touches. Loving the backdrop of the 8-bit characters all in the same jade green. Brilliant. It's really well thought out, and Iceland could be onto something. Now, the other end of the semi-final, again, we could be totally barking up the wrong tree with this, dear viewer. A song that we may have down there could stun everyone and qualify, or you might think it is the right sort of qualifier. So we're going to pick 5 of those next. And Sarah's going to start again.
Well, my pick is Poland. It's really sort of 1980s, but I have to say, not quite in as good a way as I'd want it to be. It's a little bit like sort of 1980 staging meets the Blues Brothers, because you've got Raphael and his backing dancers all wearing dark glasses and hats, and to me it's just a little bit messy at the moment, and I do wonder whether the style of the song actually suits Raphael. It just seemed to be just a little bit too messy. There's a lot of room for improvement.
Okay. Of course, dear viewer, it's only the first rehearsal, so there's still time for people to turn it around, and they don't have to get it right until, in this case, next Wednesday night. Still time. Bogdan, what's your next song pick?
My pick for the could have some improvements category, let's call it like this. It's Czech Republic, because I love Benny Cristo and Oh My God, and I was expecting so much more. I was expecting a lot of energy on the stage and connection with the camera. And I think at this time, this stage, those two are lacking. probably once Benny meets the audience and can connect with them or something, we'll see much more connection and more energy, which I'm hoping we're gonna see on the night. So yeah, bring us more. We want more.
Thanks, Bogdan. James, over to you.
So my pick for this category is Serbia with Hurricane and Loco Loco. I think this is almost a slight opposite problem of what Bogdan was saying for Czechia. There's a lot of energy here. The girls are real dynamos when they perform, but it's sort of reining in that energy and sort of directing it appropriately. At the moment, it feels like it's a bit wild. That comes across in staging. Again, there's still time for them to rehearse, to sort of neaten up the edges, smooth it out and everything. And I think Serbia could be on something good there. But yeah, at the moment, it's a work in progress. We'll put it like that.
Thanks, James. Richard, you've got a pick for us. What is it and why?
Yes, it's Georgia and Tourniquet. You could tell it was the first rehearsal because he was obviously resting his vocals. You could see he was not trying in that respect, and you could see it was just like a walking through set of rehearsals. But I think come the second rehearsal, when he really gives it his all, and I know it's only really for the Wednesday and Thursday night, the jury and televoters, I think it could be a real emotional piece.
Thanks, Richard. Okay, my pick from the it's not quite there, but it could be group is Latvia. Now, Samantha's got a cracking voice, one of the most powerful voices certainly in the semi-final. I'll give her that. But I just felt that there are a number of ideas in this, and they don't necessarily gel together as one. The little parts work okay, but when put together, it still needs a bit of work on it. She also comes before a run of 2 really strong songs at the end of the semi-final, which not her fault, but it could be a deciding factor. So yeah, Latvia, work in progress. They've still got time to fix this. Right, if you're keen-eyed, you will have spotted there are 7 songs left and only 5 of us. So 2 of our number, I've got to take 2 songs each on this next round of the middling stuff that could make the final or could just miss the cut. So we're going to start with Sarah. You've got 2 here.
I have. The first one I'm going to discuss is Denmark. Now, being half a Dane, I'm always very interested in Danish entries anyway, but I absolutely love it. It's very much a love-hate song at the moment with sort of the Eurovision fan community and social media. I'm in the love category. It's very 1980s, very nostalgic for me, sort of going back to my youth and sort of remembering when I used to go to the discos and being on the dance floors. And this ticks all the boxes for that. It's a happy song. It's a song that we really need at this time. And I think they could do it. I think they could just slip into that top 10 for the qualifying. My next one is Albania. Now, it kind of gave me everything that I would expect of an Albanian entry. We had the drama, we had the ethnic vibes, we got the really dramatic staging, wonderful vocals. Yeah, I think sort of we've known Albanian entries get through before when we don't expect them to, and I think this it might just appeal to people who love that kind of ethnic kind of music. And the big drama, sort of attractive girls singing. Yeah, it could do it.
Thanks, Sarah. Bogdan, what's your final pick tonight?
My final pick tonight is Finland. And I think they're flying a bit out under the radar, but they could be the dark horse of the semi-final. And in normal circumstances, they should qualify with no problem. I absolutely love this song. Is they're presenting something similar to what we saw on the national final, which is nothing wrong with that. That was perfectly staged. So yeah, just fingers crossed Finland gets to the final, because for me, they deserve to.
Yeah, middle fingers crossed, perhaps. Anyway. Thanks, Bogdan. Okay, James, you're one of our lucky guys with 2 picks in this last group. Off you go.
I am indeed, and the first country I want to discuss is Moldova, Natalia Godienko and Sugar. This song is amazing. As Bogdan says, we all want to dance along to it. I felt like the rehearsal, she was holding back a bit. And when we spoke to her earlier today in her interview, she said, yeah, it's a technical rehearsal. You know, I'm just sort of figuring out where the stage is. I'll give it my all later on. And I think when she does that, it's going to be quite a special number. That choreography we've all been learning for months is there. So yeah, I think this could be a real special moment for Moldova. And I think a lot of us will be, you know, going along as much as we can to that. So yeah, I think Moldova, it's with a bit of work, it'll be brilliant. So from very sort of understated, quite contemporary, we're going to San Marino, Zenit and Adrenalina, which is all kinds of absolutely barking mad, and I love it. This is why we watch the Eurovision Song Contest, and San Marino are really carving out a name for themselves as sort of, you know, one of the wackier countries to watch. It's like, you know, goodness, what are they going to do next? And the moment the sort of camera turned on and we see, you know, Zenit standing there sort of basically wearing an icon, you're like, right, this is great. This is televoter gold immediately. She just gives such energy, such passion to the performance. And yeah, I suspect that could top the televote in the final.
Highly likely. Okay, thanks, James. Richard, you've got one for us as well. What's yours?
Yep, I've chosen Estonia with Uku Savista's The Lucky One. He shows emotion in this song, and like many other people singing on their own, he's got no backing dancers, so it's purely focused on him. The one concern we originally had was he came directly after San Marino. Now, those that are watching the contest on the semi-final night and for the first time, and if they're more of the more mature audience, they're not going to like San Marino, so the contest for them will start with Estonia. So I think it will work for him.
Thanks, Richard. Right, there's only one left, and that's Portugal, which is me. Now, Portugal, wasn't too sure about it to start with, but we saw the rehearsal. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're not fly-by-night Europe's Got Talent sort of people. They know what they're doing. It's a good song sung honestly, and again, it's another song to charm you, a bit like Iceland. It's going to charm you into voting for it because it's so understated, and it's got nothing like it in this semi-final to compete with. So, you know, there's going to be no split vote. It's filmed in black and white. Again, a nice little charming thing, and it's in English for Portugal, which unusual, but nothing wrong with it. It could surprise a lot of people. It could be this semi-finals Belgium. I think just doing enough to get it through. So that's a 17 in the second semi-final that actually takes place next Thursday night on the 20th of May. They've got another set of rehearsals to go yet, so everything could change. The songs down at the bottom could suddenly stun us and come to the top, and those at the top could sort of fade a little, you know, peak too early. Who knows? Keep watching Eurovision Ireland's content. Tell us what you think, if you like it, if you don't like it. We've got interviews coming up. We've interviewed Natalia Gordienko. We've interviewed Jendrik from Germany. We've got stuff on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and of course TikTok. Stay tuned and enjoy the contest. So from Eurovision Ireland and Staggy, bye.
Bye.